Hello, everyone. This is New Bedford, Massachusetts resident CHP Crazy Hat Portuguese Mr. Eric Lima over here. You are watching yet another episode from my pilot miniseries that will end this coming Thursday. Thursday will be the last episode of this pilot miniseries. That's right. This pilot miniseries, the purpose of this is to fill in the gap in between the recently completed second season of EML-77 TV and bridging that's why I call it what it is, into the new series that will debut Friday after work, after I get out of work, when I get home, January 1st. It will debut as WEML-TV Channel 77, the YouTube station identification of yours truly. This is called The Bridge Up, episode number 58, and we are heading into the home stretch. This week is it. That's it. Up till Thursday, we have 3 days left. 3 days left. Tomorrow is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 3 days left of 2020. Now, a lot of people have been saying that 2020 has been a very, very tough year. Obviously, it has been. I mean, look what we went through this year. But I'm going to, for me, it's more than just 2020. It's not just 2020. From the time of 2010 to 2020, 10 years, has been a harrowing experience for me from a psychological, emotional, and mental standpoint. I will explain why. Because there were a lot of changes that happened in this decade alone, in this past decade alone, that basically kind of flipped my life upside down, to quote a famous rapper turned actor. If you know who I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about, you're too old. I'm only kidding. Um, you know, 2000. We'll start out a little bit late of 2009. From March on, I was learning how to use the internet. I was learning how to use Facebook, and I was learning how to use, you know, learning how to use online stuff. Check out YouTube videos and all that, and then I've learned. And then in 2010, I've evolved a little bit more. 2011, I've learned how to shop online through Amazon. And let's rewind that a little bit. Um, 2010, I started off the decade working at Ruby Tuesday. This is before the restaurant obviously closed in 2016. But I'll get a little more into that. Then February, the manager I worked under for 8 years got fired from the job. Brought in this new manager. The crazy part is nobody warned us. Nobody prepared us. Nobody had, said, oh, we're gonna have we had an emergency meeting, just let you guys know what's going on. Nobody even bothered. Nobody in that place bothered to tell us, and that's probably why we got a lot of upset. A lot of us got upset because nobody bothered to tell us anything, and we were not prepared, and all this good stuff. So it was something to kind of chew on, and so I tried to work things out over there. I was going to try to hang in there, and then I quit in April 30th of 2010, and like I said, moved on to the Swansea Mall. Worked a couple of months there until I got transferred to Dartmouth and to be closer to home. Been working there since July of 2010, but I got a job with the same company since May of 2010. Next year will be 11 years working there, and which is really, really crazy to say the least. And then, the rest after I quit, that restaurant went through so many managerial changes, and well, we have a lot of employees that were reliable for a very big amount of time, and they leave the restaurant. The manager's going to have to deal with inexperienced people in there, and that was the thing. Because a lot of us, when the corporate did fire our boss, I mean, we had a lot of experienced people there. But then I think you stick an inexperienced manager working in a place with experienced people, that is not going to end very well. And then, like I said, I think about, was it 30 people that quit that same year too? I was one of them, and we it was really crazy to say the least. It was really surreal. And like I said, after general manager merry-go-round over there. In fact, one of my former coworkers took the job at the helm as general manager. I think him, and I think it was another person, until that place ended up closing in 2016. Which, you know, to this day, it's so surreal that it even happened. You know what I mean? It's been closed for 4 years now, which we have, and it's no way it's been wiped off the map. Now it's a Five Below, which is really even crazy to even say. I got pictures from the old Ruby Tuesday Dartmouth. On it's totally surreal. A lot of great people that I've worked with there. It's just nuts. Then it was in 2011 I started learning. Like I said, 2011 I started learning how to shop online via Amazon. Amazon was really cool. Uh, 2012 I got a new car. My biological mother passed away um, early that year. Friday the 13th of all dates, right? I 2000 January Friday January 13th 2012. My biological mother passed away. She lived in Vermont for years after her and my dad split up and divorced in the mid 80s. Um, and so I wasn't given a date of her funeral or anything like that. I don't know if the relatives on her side of the family resent me for not showing up or anything like that. I haven't heard from any of my relatives since her death, from her side of the family. I mean, my grandmother on her side of the family is gone as well. So my biological relatives, I mean, my relatives on my biological mother's side of the family, I haven't heard anything from them since, and I harbor no ill will towards them or anything else. I mean, I think I was working when I got the phone call, so it's like, and I think I don't know. They should have, I wish I find some way to contact them and say, I haven't seen anybody on there, and just I really don't know. Um, um, the only connection that I have is my godmother who works at, my godmother, God bless her soul. Her and I were in constant contact with each other now on Facebook, which is really awesome. Um, so it's something that something so something I'm very thankful for. And then 2013, you know, everything had happened. A coworker of mine got fired, and probably was the most annoying coworker, thank God, and everything else. And then it was 2010. I became an uncle for the very first time after my then brother-in-law and my sister came back down from Wisconsin and resided in Dartmouth and everything else. And you know, and then it was a couple of years later. Um, I have a niece, so I became an uncle for the very first time in 2010. My brother got married. Two of my brothers got married in 2000. One of my brothers got married in 2013. Another one got married in 2014, so it's back-to-back years. Um, my sister got married a couple of years ago and gave birth to a couple kids as well. And you know, then you got divorces, splits, and siblings that don't want to be around us or with me and my family, and all sorts of craziness has happened for the past couple of years, definitely. And it was something that was hard. That was really tough, and tough for me as well because now and then you have then I well the good news is I got a new car, still drives to this day, still runs to this day. I got uh, I learned how to shop on eBay, and I've been learning more new stuff on the internet every single day. Then 2016, I got harassed by trolls because I'm friends with somebody they don't like, and blah 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 blah, without even asking, without bothering me, asking me why I'm a friend with this person and everything else. And it's like they just work on a whim, go on a whim, which I don't appreciate that. You just sit there and just talk to me. Appreciate that. Um, let's see what else. Um, and then and then I don't want to get anything politically because politically everything is just nuts as it is. Um, I had a cousin in 2017 that passed away due to an overdose, which is really really sad. My grandmother passed away a couple of years last year. October of last year, my grandmother passed away. I attended her funeral and all that, and became a pallbearer for her funeral. I'm honored. Buried next to my grandfather. Praise God that they're together again. Um, it and then 2020, things were working out decent until the pandemic hit, and then that's the last huge gathering of a lot of people that I've attended was my former boss's 60th birthday. One of my former the birthday of one of my former bosses. Her birthday was on Christmas, but but we didn't get a chance to celebrate it until January. I think January, the day was it was pretty warm that day. And then it was, and then the next week it snowed a little bit, it was snow and turning into rain. So it was a brief snowfall. Then the mall closed up, and then the mall had to close, so we had to go, which is something. I had to drive down Faunce Corner and then go into um, you know Florence Corner Road, turn to Old Order Road, go home, so I can just drive safely. Driving on the highway could be a little dangerous, so I figured I'd take the safer way home, which I made it home safe. Praise God. February passed on, and then everybody was talking about something, impeaching Donald Trump, something, COVID, something. And then March, when March hit, that's where everything just hit the fan. And when they said COVID hit, coronavirus, I'm like, what the coronavirus? Corona means crown in Spanish. So, anyways, and everything was shut down. We all had to quarantine, and we all learned this new thing called TikTok, and we're learning how to use TikTok and all this good stuff and everything else. And it was um, it was it was total insanity. Let me tell you, it was total insanity. It was um, it was it was total insanity. Uh, we've been out. I've been out. I was out of work for about 3 months. The entire spring. Would you believe that? I think it was the entire spring of 2020. I was out of work. It's the first time I've been out of work in one season, the season of spring. And then, the entire no, I think no, I got back to work towards the end of spring and into summer. So then we had a cancellation of the Whalen City Festival. That was supposed to be the 50th anniversary. We had the cancellation of the Portuguese Feast for the very first time, and then we have a new president, and I changed up in like I showed the guys episode the other day. During this decade, it has some highlights. I got a Nintendo Wii 10 years ago for Christmas, and then 4 years followed that the Wii U, and now over the summer of 2018, I bought myself a Nintendo Switch because all the arcade archives and everything else kind of convinced me, and boom, here I am, and I'm playing Super Mario Maker 2 and Super Mario Maker, Super Mario Kart, and all this good Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and all this good stuff. So it's like, okay, here we go. So, um, it was totally insane to say the least. I have to admit, and I got to tell you, it has been a very, very tough, very tough year. 2008, 2008, 2020. Do I have to admit it? But I try to make the most of it as best I can. Like I said, this past week, Christmas week was very harrowing, trying to find the results of my COVID test, And when they did come back, I finally got the phone call. I finally called them up and said, "Hey, listen, I had a, COVID test and it came back, and I just need the access code to that." And and they said, "Sure." And I gave them my information. They said, "Okay, this is what you do." Give me the access code. We went to the computer, typed it in, boom, negative, yes. And then I said the trolls got worse this year more than anything. The YouTube trolls were pretty bad from 2016 to 2020. Like I said, because of my association with somebody that they don't like. And it's like, okay, you don't like that person. That's a beef between you and him. Don't bring me into this. Don't use it as some kind of a thing to make me not be friends with him or something like that. Listen, nobody's perfect. We're moving on. But it seems like somebody refused to move on and decided to use the COVID excuse. This new troll channel, WEML-77 TV. That's not my new, because the profile pic is Cyberpunk 2007. I don't do Cyberpunk 2007. I don't know what ideas you have, son, because it ain't going to work. Said, oh, you broke COVID protocol. And the purpose of the channel, description of the channel is channel to expose stupid people on YouTube. So apparently he thinks I'm a stupid person. He says I broke COVID protocol. How? Dude. You've heard I got tested for COVID and it came back negative. I don't have it. So dude, what makes you think I broke the protocol? How did I break? And he goes, oh, this dude went over to his grandmother's. I mean, this dude, no. Fountain of misinformation. My brother-in-law's grandmother had COVID, and my brother-in-law's grandmother had COVID. All right, but they've been exposed, so they had to get tested. All my brother-in-law, my sister, and my niece and nephew all came back negative. So if you're exposing stupid people on YouTube, I think you just exposed yourself there, son. You know what I mean? So I'm like, who's stupid now? I decided, to act stupid myself. I go, how? Explain. And I figured, I would expect him to explain, and all of a sudden, he didn't explain. I expected him to answer right away. And then the other one, I went, oh yeah, fountain of misinformation. In the words of the late, great WWE Hall of Fame Gorilla Monsoon, your fountain of misinformation. Explain how. So the person refused to explain. I said, he's trolling me. I was like, you know what? I said, you know what? Better yet, I got a better idea. Went to his channel, block, delete his comments. That is how I roll, son. Telling me I broke COVID protocol. If I did, I would have COVID by now. I would have been still home, going crazy. People need to think with a little bit of logic here. It's like somebody woke up this morning, got slapped with a case of stupid. Well, like, here's some stupid for you. Boom! What you eat, stupidos for breakfast? Or what happened? Did the cat crap in your cereal for breakfast this morning? Do you have a cat? Did it crap in your cereal for use as a litter box? That reference, if you want to know what that reference is, the 80s movie reference, when Police Academy 2, when Officer Mahoney was paired up with Vinny Stillman, who basically likes to eat anything. And so he had a cat named Bunky. And so he went to go eat his cereal. Bunky! Oh, Bunky! Wha-pow! He flicks the cereal at him, go, the litter box! And he ends, that's why I get, when your cat crapping your Cheerios this morning? Did somebody crapping your Cheerios this morning? It seems like this troll channel known as WEML-77 TV, that is not going to be the new channel name, for one, and the person has a Cyberpunk 2077 as a profile pic. I don't do Cyberpunk 2077. I don't care if Keanu Reeves on it to make it cool. I like Keanu Reeves, respect him as an actor, but I don't do games like that. I do old school retro arcade games of the 80s and 90s, homeboy. Oh, good Lord. I was like, oh, geez. Nothing for me to worry about. Not anymore. Block. Remove comment. Go away. Shoo, 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 shoo. Shoo, 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 shoo. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Blah. That's how I feel about all these internet trolls. They're bored. They're gone crazy. Who cares? Click. Click. Dude. Must be some 12-year-old, 12-year-old punk kid just thinks it's funny to annoy me. Anyways, yeah, so it has been a very, very tough decade throughout 2010 to 2020. I know we're entering a new decade in, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, though, in 2021. Kind of curious, but I don't know, people want to say look forward to 2021. But you know what, though, guys? Here's my advice. We're going to 2021. It's time for you guys to take things one day at a time. Make like Valerie Bertinelli and take it one day at a time. If you don't get that joke, that means you're too young. You're too young for my YouTube channel. So I'm looking forward, and so we're gonna go up to 60 episodes of this one because I'm gonna try to space out the episodes so I can hit the 60th episode being the last one of 2020, and that will be this Thursday. So. Well, we're gonna go. Then on the next episode, we're gonna go over what is not going to be on the new season, and what will be on the new season. I'm making a few changes. I decided to if it's going to be a new season, I'm gonna have new names for my segments. So we're gonna do that once. We're going to do that. I'm going to write things down and jot things down, see what's up, and let you guys know what's going on, okay? I'm looking forward to... Now, I admit I am looking forward to 2021, but I'm going to take things one day at a time and just relax and step back and let nature take its course, let God do his thing, and let's see what happens, in 2021. I know we got a new president coming in soon, but then the old president is starting to fight everything else, and... a lot of things are going crazy, but we're going to be okay. That's the cool thing about it. Cool thing about life is we're going to be okay. Peace and love. And I will see you on episode number 59. We're going to talk, like I said, it will be what's going to be on the new channel, what's not going to be on the new channel. I'm going to go over that again. I want to make sure that we go into 2021 on the right foot, the right note, and the right everything else in between. The right stuff. Because this will be the first weekend of 2021. And it'll be my first Saturday off of 2021, so I'm kind of looking forward to what's going on. Kind of looking forward to what's going on there. And, the mall is going to be changing its schedule starting this coming Sunday, the first Sunday of the new year. So that way, we can slow things down and try to slow down. Because usually the winter, after the holidays, things start to slow down business-wise. And with COVID, the pandemic going on, it could get a little slower, and we don't know what's going to happen in the long run for that, because next year will mark the 50th anniversary of the Dartmouth Mall, and which is I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. Talk about the cool things about the mall and how I was introduced to it and everything else, memories of the mall. It's crazy I even worked half of those 50 years. Would you believe that? Half of the 50 years would be 25 years, because I've been at that mall since working at the mall since '95 with Ruby Tuesday, and it's crazy. With the exception of the 2-month interruption in Swansea, it's crazy. It's been that long, so it's great. Another thing that's going to be another milestone that's happening next year. Also, we be my 10 years here on YouTube. That's why, and I'm really, really happy about that as well. And so I'm looking forward to talk about that as well. So it's going to be. A lot of things, a lot of ground to cover. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm probably going to take a break from doing a video either Tuesday or Wednesday. Then because I know I'm supposed to have a Monday Night Raw roundup, Monday Night Raw recap. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a recap of Monday Night Raw. And when I was with Raw, NXT, and NXT UK, I'm going to do a triple-barreled recap, possibly, and then what I'll do is on the last episode, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen in the new channel, what's going to be not on the new, not actually what's going to be happen in the new season, not in the new season. There's a lot going on this week, that's for sure. and then I will give you new lines. I give you new names of some of our segments, and I think I'm going to retire to Get These Thumbs episodes as far as the name Get These Thumbs because it sounded too much like Get These Hands, and it could be a little bit of trademark there. So, but it was a lot of fun using the names, using the saying "Get These Thumbs." I want to call it something else. So the arcade game, the video gameplay will still be there, but I'm not going to call it. I'm not going to call it "Get These Thumbs" though. I'm going to try to come up with a fancy name. I'm trying to think of fancy names all day when I was working while I was working outside. Sometimes you're by yourself. You got a lot of thoughts in your head. So we'll see what happens. Okay, and just you know, I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's just great to be back at work. It was great. You know, it's just I know tomorrow's going to be a little cold, but it's okay because I'm going to have a whole lot of fun. Just try to end this year on a high note, and if anybody else wants to get their final shot in, let me know. So I'm good with that. So I'm just really cool, just feeling chill. So I'll see you in episode 59, and I will give you. What I do is in episode 59, I'm not gonna give the Raw. On Thursday, I will give the wrestling recaps of the Raw, SmackDown. Not Raw, SmackDown. SmackDown will be the first. Raw, NXT, and NXT UK. I'm going to combine them all in one. Um, I'm going to combine them all, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be a recap of all three. Of all three um, episodes, which should be simple. And then on the last day, on the last episode of 2020 of the Bridge Up, the last episode, the 60th episode, like I said again, I am going to go over what's not going to be on the third season, but what will be on the third season. That way we get a good idea what I want to talk about, what I don't want to talk about. That way we can get everything there. I know I repeated myself a couple of times, but like I said, it's been a long week. It's been a long holiday. It's been a long year. It's been mentally, I'm totally wiped at this point. I need to relax my mind. So praise God. A lot of things have happened, and hopefully everything will be okay. So, so long hard journey, long hard road from 2010 to 2020. Another thing that was part of it that changed our lives. My father retiring from Sears Auto Center after working almost 40 years there, and the place closed down in 2019 last year. No more. I mean, it is so weird not seeing a Sears anywhere anymore. So weird. So weird, so surreal, so everything, man. But we will see what happens this coming year. 2021, hang in there. It's almost here, guys. We got to put up 3 more days of 2020. 3 more days. 2020. After that, we can forget what happened in 2020, but we'll remember those we've lost in 2020. Hard road I've traveled for the past 10 years, and I'm still alive. I thank God. God bless you guys. Peace. See you in the next episode.